To be honest, what really intrigues me about science, at least when I was growing up, is I really never liked the answer, something works just because. I just like to understand how it works.
The experience that inspired me to go into science and really work together in my clinical practice was during my residency. I worked with a woman who had no idea she had ovarian cancer until she saw us in the office. And I was the one that told her. And I will continue to picture her face and her family's face when they heard the news.
If you really look at the human population, almost all cancer happens after the 5th decade of life. My particular research actually is, how does age facilitate cancer? How does it drive it?
My role in the Mechanisms of Cancer Biology program is to bring and bridge clinical research as well as basic science research. And I'm really proud and excited that we are able to do that here at Siteman.
Things people don't always appreciate about basic science is sometimes we have a question that we actually think will translate to a patient, but sometimes we just want to figure out how things work. And in learning that, it opens up for those researchers to go, wait a minute, but this goes with this, and I can break that. And if I could break that connection, maybe I don't even have to kill tumor cells. Maybe I can just put them to sleep.
What propels me for my research is the questions that keep coming after the answers. And so that keeps us going, because the more we discover, the more questions we want to answer, because we know that we're getting closer and closer to a cure, because that's our end goal. It doesn't take just one lab, it takes a whole group of labs, and that's actually the really unique part about this place.
One of the great strengths of the program is really its diversity. WashU has made a name for itself over a century of really looking at the most diverse types of questions. And sometimes that's with our clinicians when we're thinking about what's happening within a patient, when we're thinking about their tissues, if we're thinking about a therapeutic option. Sometimes that's within our model systems that were used to build what we think is happening in the patients. Because again, the idea from basic science is if we can, for example, learn how to build a tumor, perhaps we can take it back down.
Three-dimensional models actually help recreate what we see in the body. So as you take tissues, normal tissues that tumors actually attach to and spread to in the body, we grow them in the dish and then look under the microscope and treat them with different medications. And then with the mechanism of cancer biology, it's actually even more important, because we're not just saying, oh, can we throw 2 drugs together and kill a tumor cell in the dish in the laboratory? Sure, but why does that happen? How does that happen? Because that actually brings to the next level, so we can actually continue to be smarter than that tumor cell that might actually evolve, become resistant again. We're always 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead of this tumor cell.
Friends and family are everything to me. My motto in the lab is work hard, play harder. So for me, working out with my kids, challenging my friends, cooking, all of those things are important.
I have 2 boys, 4 and 2, and they like to wake up really early in the morning, especially on Saturdays and Sundays. So my husband and I bring our dog with us and we go for a run in Forest Park. And so with our 2-year-old in the stroller, our dog strapped against our waist, and my 4-year-old riding his bike, racing us all the time, that's how we get going in the morning. That really recharges us after a busy week.
I'm through and through to my core a basic scientist, and I did not get into this job with the idea that I was going to cure someone. But I will tell you, we're involved in writing our first clinical trial because we were just trying to understand how age-related changes in the tissue could drive tumor metastasis. And we were able to identify a pathway that led to the secretion of the release of all of these factors. And we're now using a drug in combination with a local company that developed the drug to limit metastasis. Certainly within our mouse models, it works very, very well and has extremely low toxicity in humans. And so we are moving towards a clinical trial.
It's been so rewarding, actually, in terms of seeing one of my patients with ovarian cancer getting treated by a drug that we actually discovered in the laboratory and actually performed the preclinical data to inform that trial. New treatments, what does that mean? To some it means, wow, yes, I'm going to get something new, it's going to work, it's going to give me the next years that I'm looking for, because we know that cancers, they don't all speak the same language, so we really need to attack them with different types of drugs in order to get them all. And knowing that can be passed along to our community is just really amazing.
I was following the science where it took me, and it allowed me to find a way to potentially translate this to patients, which of course is the most amazing thing to do. But it has to come on the heels of basically understanding why 1 goes to 2 goes to 3 makes 4.